back, just chatting with my good friend. Get to see her at least, once a month on a day. The end of the year is a great time to sit back and assess the steps to success that will prosper your organization in the new year. And Keisha A. Rivers Shorty is the founder and executive director of the CARS Institute, providing training, resources, support for nonprofits, businesses, churches, just to name, not churches chicken, but churches, places of worship, just to name a few. Keisha, so good to see you. Always get ready to have a good time now. This year's been great for the CARS Institute. You've been helping so many people.
Yes, we have had the pleasure of talking to so many different organizations. We've helped different schools, we've helped churches, we've helped small businesses. We've done a lot of training and a lot of workshops, and it's been fabulous.
And you've had a lot, you've been burning the candles at all ends. If there was an end, if there were 25 ends to a candle, you were burning them. So let's talk about, because we're coming up on the end of the year, we only have a few more weeks, a couple more weeks left in 2014. But what are some things that organizations should be doing to kind of take stock and make sure everything is in order so they can get ready for 2015?
And the thing about it is, everybody always asks me, how can I guarantee success?
Right.
And I tell them it comes down to 4 main things.
All right. Well,
so I'm going to give you the 4 ones, so you need to write us down.
Okay. Get
so
your
4
paper.
things.
All right.
The first thing is you need to actually look at your strengths.
Okay.
Look at what went well, look at what you do well, look at everything that went well. Be really honest with that. And most people are really, really good at that part.
Okay.
The second thing is you need to look at your weaknesses.
Because you have to be honest too.
Yes,
okay.
honest.
Right.
Not saying, well, it wasn't really my fault, or that would have been well if I had a different sponsor.
You've got to own it.
Yes, you have to own it, because unless you look at your weaknesses, you don't really know what you have to improve. So you have to take an honest assessment of what didn't go well, what didn't you do well, because that helps you to determine where you need other resources as well as other personnel.
Now, would that help, not to interrupt you, but would that help during the course of a year if you set up some type of feedback?
Yes,
that
exactly.
people who you deal with can give you feedback on what you've done?
And that's one of the things on one of the shows that I did. I talked about email marketing and using that for surveys, making sure that you get feedback and evaluations from events that you're doing, so that way it'll help you at the end of the year when you're looking at doing this type of activity. And then the third thing is you actually want to look at your opportunities.
Okay.
What are the potentials out there? Who do you know? What connections have you made? Who are the people that you want to tap into that can potentially take you farther? And then the last one is your threats. What are threats to you being successful? Is it that you don't have enough people? Do you not have enough resources? Are you going to have to move to a different location? What are the threats? Are there other organizations that are doing the same thing that you're doing?
Right.
You have to be proactive and look at the threats, because that helps you to plan for the future.
Right. Now, is usually if people don't have a good plan like that and look at doing that and assessing, the whole year and looking back and wanting to improve on that, I mean, is it possible for some of these organizations to go under and just kind of go away?
Completely, because a lot of times, most of the times when people go under, it's because they really don't have a sense of what threats are out there. They don't know what their weaknesses are, so they can't improve them, and they don't take advantage of the opportunities that are there.
Okay.
So, and one of the things is, I tell you can do this at the end of the year, but a really good rule of thumb is to do it quarterly. Every 3 months, go back, take a look at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then you'll have a really good baseline for what you need to change as you're moving along, instead of waiting and trying to do it either all at the end or all at the beginning of the year.
Now, of course, we're giving tips for those of you who have an organization, cleaning up at the end of the year and looking back. But what if someone is thinking, for the new year, I'm going to get more involved. There's something that I'm really passionate about, and I want to start a nonprofit organization. And if once that light bulb goes off in their head and they find that what they're passionate about, what's the next step for them in starting?
The next step is actually, you go through the same 4 steps that I outlined, because you need to understand exactly what it is that you're getting into.
Okay.
And then secondly, I always tell people, Google and find out what other organizations are already out there, because sometimes you may be able to piggyback and partner with someone for a little bit before you decide to branch out on your own. And then the third aspect is to actually get with somebody that can teach you. And at the Institute, we actually are launching our online virtual academy now.
Oh, wow.
So people can actually, from the comfort of their own homes,
yeah.
they can take part in some of the trainings that we have and webinars. We have a series that's coming up in the new year on if you want to start your own nonprofit or you want to start your own business, what are the do's and don'ts and tips and tricks that you need to know. So it'll be very timely. So if you go to our website at carsinstitute.org, and that's with CARS with a K, then you sign up for our email newsletter, and then we'll send you out a schedule, and you'll be able to register for that.
And I think that is just awesome that you're providing that, because I know there are so many people in the community that have a need, and there are so many people who feel like they can meet that need or, help improve the lives of other people.
Yeah.
So that's great. So what's coming up for the CARS Institute for 2015?
Well, we have a lot of new programs.
Yeah.
We have a lot of new training. We're launching our virtual academy, like I said, and then we're tweaking a little bit of our offerings. We're adding a whole lot of new consultants and trainers. So
Awesome.
we're growing, and we're not just located. We're based in Charleston, but we're actually expanding, and we're servicing clients all over the country now.
There we go.
So we're excited.
There we go, because you went back and you did your strengths, your weaknesses, your
opportunities,
opportunities, and
my
your threats.
threats.
And there you
Exactly.
go. So here's to a happy 2015, a successful
to you.
year. Thank you. Now for some last minute holiday entertaining tips.